Dial. In this video, I will be helping Clovis College Information Systems students complete their Microsoft 365 project. I'll guide you step by step through McGraw-Hill SimNet as we work on Project 10. This is a Microsoft Excel project that follows SimNet Independent Project 9-5. For this project, imagine you are a real estate agent working for Placer Hills. Commissions are split with the buyer's agent according to the home selling price and how it fits in a percentage fee bracket set up for Placer Hills. You will create a one variable data table to display this information, along with different scenarios in a histogram. Let's go ahead and begin by downloading the start file. Once that is downloaded, you want to go ahead and open it, and then click on Enable Editing. That takes care of step 1. For step 2, they want us to review formulas for commissions and calculations. So for part A, if they want us to go to the calculator sheet and then just look at cell C14 and see how that's calculated. It's a multiplication between these two cells above it. And then for cell 15, it's a little bit more complicated. So to navigate out to look at another cell, you're going to have to hit escape. And then you can always click on a formula bar up top to kind of see where all the different cells are used to calculate PHRE share. And PHRE, if you don't know, stands for Placer Hills Real Estate. Okay? So that easily takes care of step 2. For step 3, they want us to build a one variable data table. So to do that, we need to set up a formula first, which is in C18, which is here. And to start a formula, like you've noticed before, it begins with an equal sign, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Type in equal. And we want to multiply C18. Oh, sorry. We want to multiply the total commission, which is not C18, but C14, and then multiply that by the percentage in cell D7. Okay. Equal, right? So once that is established, then we can create a data table referencing this value here, and then we'll be using the percentage column here. So to do that, the data table feature is actually located in a what-if analysis. If you don't remember, that is located in the Data tab. And then here's the what-if analysis. Click the down arrow and then select Data Table. We can leave the row input cell empty. However, we want the column input cell to be the percentage here, so beginning with D7. And then the values, the amount are calculated for you. And you can verify that by looking at figure 9-102 and just make sure those amounts match, which it does, so we're good. For step 4, they want us to install the solver add-in and analysis tool pack. This is something that you should have done for a prior project, so I'm not going to show you that. However, what I'm going to do instead, though, is to make sure those add-ins are turned on. So in the search function up top, where you can search for different actions in Excel, you can just type in add-in. Okay, and then you can select the action add-ins from the bottom. And you notice right now my add-ins are not turned on. So I need to select Analysis Toolpack and then the Solver add-in and then hit OK. And you can see those two add-ins appear in the Data tab. Okay. For step 5, they want us to name cell ranges. So to do that, we want to go to the Price Solver Worksheet tab, which is this green tab at the bottom. And then what they want us to do, if you don't remember what naming cells are involved, is instead of the generic C12, C14, and C17, we're going to rename those cells so that it's more human friendly. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I do it. So let's go ahead and do part B, where it asks us to highlight B12 to C12. To add additional cell, you want to hold the control key on your keyboard and then select B14 to C14 and then B17 to C17. All right. And then for part C, they kind of took a shortcut where they say create form selection command, use the create form selection command. It's really create names from selection command. I wish they didn't do that. So if you don't remember where it is, once again, use the search feature in Excel, type in create names. And then you notice the best action that it recommends is create names of from selection, which is what we want. Okay. And then we want to create names from values in the left column, which so happens to be um, what we want here. So that is good, right? And I wish there's a confirmation message saying that names have been created, but you can verify that still by clicking in C12. Right now, you notice it doesn't say C12 anymore in the name box. It says selling underscore price, and you can verify C14. Yep, and then um, C17. Yep. So it's all good. Moving on to step 6. They want us to use solver to find a target PHRE net commission amounts. So we're going to build a solver problem with cell C17 as the objective cell. So to do that, let's go ahead and click on solver, and that creates a pop-up of solver parameters. And we want to go ahead and set cell C17 as the objective cell. So to do that, you click on this up arrow here and look for C17. It's this one. And then we want to play around with that. So going to part B, they want us to set the objective to a value of 50,000. So the 50,000 being the commission amount. Is that the right? Yep. All right. And then just to make sure that GRG linear solving method is selected, which is the default, so it's good. So let's go to click the solve button. So what I'm missing is that I need to set the variable for by changing variable cells, which is part B says C12. So let's go and click on that. So let's click the up arrow and select C12. Okay. Now we can go and use the solve function. Okay. All right, so you notice the numbers changed. The cell. So in order to get the net commission of 50,000, we need to sell a house that it's pretty expensive, about $2,250,000. Yeah, to get a $50,000 commission. So we want to go ahead and save the result as a scenario, name 50,000. So let's go ahead and set scenario, and I'm just going to copy this. Okay. Now we want to make sure before we move on to part C, we want to restore original values, and then we want to return to solver parameters dialog because we want to do this 2 more times. So we're back here now, and you notice the values have reset. For part C, the only thing we're really changing now is the value. Instead of 50,000, we're going to want 75,000. So type 75 there, hit click solve, and then save the scenario. And I'm going to copy and paste this. Okay. And then once again, make sure restore original values is selected. If you didn't do that, you would have to close your file and restart because the number is gonna be stuck. There's no undo for some reason for solver outputs. So just be careful before you hit OK. Make sure that restore original values is selected. Okay. So part C is completed. For part D, we're just gonna change that to what happens, what the house needs to be to earn $100,000 commission. Okay. Click the solve button. And you notice it's going to be, we need to sell a house that is $4.5 million. Okay. At this point, well, let's go ahead and save the scenario first again. Okay. And I'm just pasting 75,000 because I'm going to change 75 and just change it to 100, keeping the dollar sign in a comma. Um, we need to restore to original values, but we're not going to go back to the solver dialog anymore. And then just hit OK. Right. Now for step 7, they want us to manage scenarios. To do that, you just type in scenarios in a search in Excel, and then that brings up the scenario manager. Okay. All right. So they want us to create a scenario summary report for cells C12, C14, and C17. Okay. So to do that, go ahead and click on summary, and you notice right now it's only for C17, so we just need to add C12. Let me see. You can always type it in, but what I want to do is I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to select the C12, which is this one, C14, and then C17. And order matters. Okay, right, and hit OK. And it created a new sheet for us called Scenario Summary, and then it shows all those different scenarios that we just created. Okay, right. So that's it for step 7. For step 8, they want us to build an array formula. So to do that, we need to first select the sales forecast sheet, which is the Go sheet here. And we need to calculate the community donation amount. So for part B to E, it's just the values for the community donation. So first off, we need to type in the equal sign, and then we need to select cell E5 to E26, which is this column here, the sale price. Then we're going to hit the slash, the backward slash symbol, which is near the right shift icon, shift button on the keyboard, I mean. And then we want to select C5 to C26, which is the square feet. Yep, right here. For part D, they want us to multiply that by 2. Right, and just press enter. And this is the nice feature of Excel where it auto completes for you. It looks pretty good so far. What we need to do though, the last thing we need to do is format the result array as currency with no decimals. So go to select that output here for F5 to F26. Go to home, go to number, and you just have to reselect currency, okay? And click this decrease decimal button here so that it only shows whole dollar amounts, okay? Okay. Now they want us to create a histogram for recent sales based off of the data on this sheet here. So first we need to create a bin range of 10 values starting at, let's say, 400,000 in cell H13 with intervals of 50,000, ending at 900,000 in H23. That's a mouthful, so let's go ahead and do it one step at a time. So first we need to find where H13 is. 12. There's H13. And all we have to do there is just type in 400,000. Okay. And then the cell below it is 450,000, right? Yep. Instead of manually adding 50,000 each time, here's a neat trick you can do with Excel. Select the two values, and then in the bottom right-hand corner, there's this black box, not black, but green squared solid box. Hover over that. You notice my Excel pointer changed from a white plus button to a black plus. That's what you want to hover and then drag that down. to H23, or when it says 900,000. Okay, there it goes. Excel went ahead and increased the values for you by 50,000. Okay, so that takes care of part A. For part B, they want us to use the analysis tool pack, which is in the data tab, data analysis. So yeah, I wish they do a better job of explaining that analysis tool pack is located inside the data analysis, and then the analysis tools is what they're referencing, and then that there we can find the histogram. Okay, and hit OK. You notice I left E5 to E26 selected, so you would need to do that before you start the histogram setup. So for this one, the input range for that is what we just calculated, the 400,000 to 900,000. So you just have to you just have to reselect that. Actually, no, that's the bin range. My bad. Let me go ahead and do that over. The input range is the sale price. There you go. Yes. There we go. And the bin range is the one that starts with 400,000 to 900,000. Okay. And then the output needs to be, what did they say it is? Select cell I4 for the output range. So I4 is up here. Oops, let me do it again. Yep. There we go. And we don't need labels. Let's go and hit OK. All right, so the issue I was having was I accidentally selected the text heading above it, which is sale price. So that's what I was saying. It has non-numerical value. So I went ahead and adjusted it so it's E5 to E26. And make sure you have chart output selected, because for for part C, the end of that says and include a chart. Okay. Hit OK. And you can see a chart is inserted. If it's kind of cramped, you might need to hit the horizontal right arrow to view the chart and the bin table. So now they want us to position and size the chart so that it begins at L4, the upper left-hand corner, and then the bottom right-hand corner ends at W16. So looks like I need to scroll more to the right to show where the W column is. Doesn't have to be exact. The approximate is fine. There we go. And now they want us edit the horizontal axis and the title and then remove frequency. Let's go ahead and do it in steps. So part E, they want us to change the bin, double click on the word bin, and then type in selling price. And then the vertical axis, instead of frequency, we want number of sales. Okay. They want us to edit the chart data so it doesn't say histogram, but it says sale by price group. And then we need to delete the legend, which is one on the left here. Hit delete on your keyboard. Okay. And they want us to hide column H. It's more of a background calculation thing, so that's why it's not really need to be visible. So to do that, just hover over G and H. Well, actually, just hover over column H. Right click on column H and select hide from the context menu. And then it disappeared. Okay, but you can tell it's hidden because there's these two thin vertical lines up here. All right, and that's it. So let's go ahead and save it and then close it and make sure your cloud drive sync it before you uploaded and submitted for grading. So let's go back to the top. Yep, it's synced. Let's go ahead and upload my file. Let's go ahead and grade it. All right, so I made an error there. Your range includes all the value that we set up in bin. So let me show you what I mean. So see, it stopped at 8,500. It should have went down to 900,000 down here because it did match the frequency of all the prior values. Yeah, above it. The only one I mess up is here. Okay. All right. So good luck on your project, and hopefully you saw the mistakes I made and you don't repeat it, and then you can get that 100%. All right. Thank you for watching, and good luck on your project.